Welcome to the video, guys. For those of you who don't know, my name's Josh Blake and this is my channel. I started this channel because I felt there wasn't enough real people making videos out there. I am just a normal person. I'm 25, I work a 9-to-5 job, I drive a SHITBOX car, I don't have my own clothing company, I don't have my own house, I don't coach people online, I cook all my own meals, I'm not shredded 24/7, I don't go on holidays every weekend, I just work, train, eat, repeat that 5 days a week, and enjoy my weekends just like you guys. I will apologize for the clickbait style title. I really want a lot of people to try and watch this video and see what I'm about to say, because I feel what I'm about to talk about isn't spoken about enough in the industry, and I guess, I really want it to be something people feel comfortable they can talk about. So let's get straight into it. First things first, comp prep. I did plan on competing this year. I planned on competing later this year in October. I even started my comp prep, but as soon as I started my comp prep, some old feelings and I guess issues started to come back up again. So for as long as I can remember, going all the way back to high school, so we're talking 10 years ago, I've always been self-conscious about how I look, as a lot of us are. And I was chubby in my early teens, but thanks to a growth spurt, I managed to essentially stretch out, so I wasn't as chubby anymore. But still, I've always been self-conscious about how my chest looks. 3 years ago, I competed for the first time in a bodybuilding competition. I did IMBA, AMB, and I also did IMBA Nationals. I got lean. I got real lean in my upper body, and my legs not so much, but for my first prep, I was pretty happy. But my chest, especially my lower chest, never really got as lean as my upper body did. So anyway, I competed, I did pretty well at the state shows, and that was it. It wasn't until a short while after that, on one of my Instagram photos, a comment popped up that simply read, "That's some pretty bad gyno for a natural competitor." Now, I had almost no idea what he even meant or what that word meant, but after a quick Google search, I was pretty keen to just take that photo straight down off Instagram. Anyway, I went and saw my local GP about a week or two later after that, and he assured me that it was nothing to worry about, that it's just an excess body fat, it will sort itself out. And as I progressed through adolescence, remembering that I'm 22 years old here 3 years ago, and that was it. Fast forward 3 years, and I've been living with, I guess, doubt about what it was. I wanted to believe that it was just body fat that I could lose next prep, but I guess deep down I knew, and especially as I spent more time in the health and fitness industry, I obviously learnt more and more about it, and also about other things related to it. So for the last 3 years, I've been essentially hiding my chest as much as I can, wearing only black and dark grey tees or singlets all the time, never taking my top off in public when possible. And if there ever was the time I had to get changed or something like that, I would very subtly make sure that my chest, and especially how my nipples look, made sure that they were hard so that it would hide how they normally look. Because I knew if anyone saw how my chest normally looks, I knew exactly what they would think, and that's really how my life's been for the last 3 years. So going to 2 months ago now, I went to an integrative GP to get my hormones tested, just to see how everything was going in sort of prep for my prep, or as I just started my prep for competing later this year. As he is a GP that works with a lot of people in the bodybuilding and I guess the fitness industry, I did thought, while I'm here, I might as well ask him about my chest. I haven't seen a GP or spoken to anyone about it since 3 years ago. I might as well ask him what he's thought about it. So I took off my top, and as I explained to him that I've always felt self-conscious about my chest and how my nipples look, he simply replied, "I can imagine you have. You've got gyno," and it was a really odd moment, because as much as I was glad to have someone tell me that it actually is something legit, I also really wish that it had also just been some extra body fat that I could lose. So and that's probably why I've never properly pursued finding out anything else after seeing that GP, or after my comp 3 years ago. I almost preferred what that local GP told me, even though he didn't really have any idea, and I still felt the need to do everything in my power to hide this, even though I still believed the lie, but deep down I still knew that it had to be something more. But there I was told I've got gyno. So yeah. Now, of course, his first question was, am I taking steroids? To which I answered simply no. And I'm sorry guys if you thought this was a video about me coming out as a fake natty, or me telling you about what cycle I'm taking or what I've done to result in this. That's not the case. I am a natural athlete, and that's all there is to it. Anyway, he asked me, how long has your chest looked like this? And I said it's something that I've had, and something I've been hiding for pretty much the last 10 years of my life. So yeah, so I want to quickly just explain what gyno is. So for anyone out there that doesn't understand, this is it. So gyno, or gynecomastia, is the enlargement of breast tissue in males. So now all guys have breast tissue, a little bit, like just a small amount, but we all have it. So I'll put up a little diagram now on the screen that sort of really helped me simply just understand what it is, what it looks like to be normal. So you can see what it looks like to have a normal chest, and what it looks like to have, I guess, gyno. You can see the enlarged. It's just simply more tissue. That's really it. I guess probably the worst side effect of having gynecomastia or gyno is what I was talking about before, is having the puffy nipple look. It's awful, because I mean, it's, whether you're wearing a light colored t-shirt, it's something that you can just see from someone walking up to you across the gym, or you can just, it's a telltale sign of gyno, is the puffy nipple. And that's just simply caused by that excess breast tissue pushing the nipple out, making it appear to have that puffy look. Whereas if you don't have that excess tissue there, you won't have it. It's as simple as that. I guess how do you get gyno is the next question. How do you get it? Gyno, or the growth of the breast tissue, is caused by a hormonal imbalance. That's simply it. It's just a hormone imbalance. So guys have testosterone and estrogen in their bodies. Obviously the body is constantly trying to regulate the ratio of testosterone and estrogen, and when the ratio does go out of whack, either ideally in men you want to have higher testosterone levels and you want to have lower estrogen levels, but if that ratio does ever go out of whack, so testosterone going down, estrogen going up, that's when the growth of the breast tissue and gyno can occur. And this imbalance occurs in two ways, or generally there are other ways, but there are two main causes of this imbalance. Now, the first is probably the most commonly known in the fitness industry, and that is the use of steroids and other powerful hormonal supplements. Now, I want to clarify, I'm not saying that if you use steroids that you're going to get gyno. That's not how it works. What I'm saying is that if you use them incorrectly or unsafely, or you're not trying to monitor your blood work and you're not trying to monitor your hormonal levels while you're using them, that is how you can put yourself into a hormonal imbalance, and that is how you cause gyno. So that's why that's probably the most commonly known reason for it. The other way, and the way that I've ended up with gyno, is simply through puberty. So that process that we all go through, where our hormones go crazy and our bodies start to develop into what we have today, that is when I developed it, which coincides perfectly with obviously me sort of having this issue ever since high school. It's actually pretty common for males to experience some breast tissue growth during puberty, and also during infancy, and also older in age as well, as those are also times where their hormonal ratios can be dramatically changed. But as for it occurring in adolescence, where I experienced it, it's something that does actually can, in some cases, solve itself. It's actually something very common that a bit of growth does actually occur, and it does actually end up solving itself over time. But unfortunately not in my case. I was sort of stuck with it, and it's just how my body responded to everything happening, and that's just where it is. So that's just how my body dealt with the puberty, and I'm currently now living with gynecomastia from puberty. So as I've told you guys, this is something that has affected me for honestly the last 10 years of my life. The last 3 years in particular, as I found myself becoming more submerged into the health and fitness industry, going to expos, being in videos on the Massive Joe's channel, and of course trying to grow my own social media following. It's every photo, every post, every clip is I've constantly and actively tried to hide this issue. It's and I guess in the last month and a half since having it medically confirmed that I do have gyno, it's been shithouse, guys. It really has. Even though nothing has changed physically, my mentality has completely flipped on its head. As you guys probably would know, that I haven't been posting on Instagram. I haven't been posting any or editing any videos or creating any videos for the last month and a half now. And other than just messing around on Snapchat, that's all I've been doing. I just haven't felt, comfortable now that I know it's been sort of confirmed to sort of, be active in the social media scene. It's been really tough. It really has. This last month and a half, it's been really tough. Training with Joe, obviously he Snapchats every workout. Normally I train with a singlet underneath my t-shirt, and then a couple exercises in, I'll take that t-shirt off. For the last 2 months I haven't taken my t-shirt off. I've trained in a singlet and a t-shirt both at the same time, both of course being black in color, so nothing can be seen. I've been wearing my hoodie pretty much all day while I'm at work. And I guess the worst thing is I've also become a bit more self-conscious self-conscious of how I look when I'm with my girlfriend, and we've been together for 4 years, so just in the last month and a half it's just completely changed my mentality of having confirmed. It really sucks. It really sucks. But And this is of course why I won't be competing later this year, and I honestly don't know when I'll be competing next. I guess it depends on how the recovery goes from the surgery and then how things look and how it all comes together. But yeah. So how do we fix this? So I guess what am I going to do? So as I just said, I'm going to be having surgery. There's a simple way to fix it. It's with surgery. In some cases you can catch it early. In adolescence you can catch it early, and you can use medication to fix it, just hormonal medication. But in my case, it's way too far. It's way too progressed. Surgery's the only way. So I've actually seen an endocrine surgeon who confirmed I have what he called moderate gynecomastia caused from puberty, and then obviously he went forward to explain the procedure of what I'll be having. So the procedure is pretty simple. It's called a bilateral subcutaneous mastectomy. Yes, it's hard to pronounce. I've had to try and revise it a few times. But it simply means that he's going to make a small incision under the bottom or around the bottom of my nipple. And then from that, he's going to then remove essentially all the breast tissue, all the tissue that has grown over the last 10 years. And he's just going to leave a little bit behind the nipple so it still holds its shape. And that's really it. So all I'll have is a little scar, hopefully very, very minimal. You won't be able to tell, just around the bottom of my nipple, and that'll be it. So he's not removing any body fat. It's just purely the tissue that he's taking away. So I actually go in for surgery on Saturday the 5th of August. So it's actually next Saturday I go in for surgery. I will be kept in hospital overnight, and then it'll take a full 6 weeks to recover. And in that time I cannot do any sort of weight training at all. I need to also minimize any sort of physical activity at work, and yes, I can't even train legs, if that's what the first thing you're thinking, which is what I thought. I can't even train legs, and the reason being is that because he is going to be removing a lot of the he's removing all the tissue in there. Within that tissue there are blood vessels, so he's going to be cutting through blood vessels, and any sort of increase in blood pressure could cause a blood clot or something worse. So obviously that is the last thing I want to do is hinder my recovery or cause more trouble for myself. So I cannot do anything that's going to cause any sort of increase in blood pressure or any sort of tensing of my upper body. But as of September 17th, I should be fully recovered and ready to start training again. The reason for me making this particular video is I hate how taboo this sort of topic is. In all honesty, I didn't feel comfortable to talk to anyone about this for the last 3 years after being told there's nothing to worry about, purely because I knew exactly what people would think if I did talk to them about it, or if I made it aware, if I didn't hide it 24/7. You know, something like, oh wow, he's got gyno, you know, must have done a stupid steroid cycle, and he's not even that big, you know, I'd be asking for my money back from his dealer. Just it's the shit like that pops into my head when I see or when I sort of see it in the mirror at the gym. I think that's what everyone else in the gym must be thinking, and that's why, you know, I needed to hide. I needed to make sure I never wore a light t-shirt. I only wore black. I only wore dark grey. I wore my hoodie more. And so that's why I'm here. That's why I'm being open. That's why I'm being honest. I want to show people it's okay to talk about, and that's also why I'll be sort of showing you guys and documenting my process of the surgery and the recovery, and I'll be a lot more open about, you know, how I look now, and I guess how I look after, and how the progress works, and how recovery is going, and hopefully make this something that people don't feel the need to hide, or don't feel the need to not talk about, or, you know, if you don't feel comfortable about how you look, you know, you can talk to someone, or if you think there's something might be wrong, you can talk to a medical professional and, you know, see if there's something that can be done. You know, don't be like me. Don't wait 10 years to try and do something. And I mean, there's still no guarantee that what I'm doing here, or what the surgery will do, is actually going to help make me look normal afterwards. There's no guarantee that's going to happen, but, you know, after the last 3 years, and I guess especially the last 1.5 months, you know, after how they've been, I need to do something. I need to try something. So anything I can try, I'm just gonna give it a go, and this definitely seems to be the way to go. So yeah, I guess you know, what am I going to do with my 6 weeks of no training other than go crazy and lose all my gains? To be honest, I'm actually sort of looking forward to it. It's going to give me an opportunity to rest and recover and just give my body a break, which it really hasn't had for the last 4 to 5 years. It's been a lot of training, and I haven't had any sort of reason to take this much time off. So it should be pretty good. It'll also give me a chance to work on more content for my channel, and obviously my Instagram as well. I fully intend to get back into those. You know, this is sort of like my video comeback here, that I sort of want to get it out in the open and just make people realize that I'm just going to talk about anything, and, you know, it doesn't matter. You know, it happens. I'm having it done. Big whoop. You can know about it. I thought, you know, there's either I got to try and hide this indefinitely. You know, how can I hide 6 weeks of no training from everyone? It's sort of like, no, what's the point? Well, what good's that going to do? You know, I need to be open about it. So yeah, I'll hopefully work on more content. You know, obviously no training videos, but I'll be doing things like, I think I have quite a decent amount of knowledge in my head that I think would be of use to people to know. As well as that, I do actually plan to go back to keto again. You know, as some people know, I tried a keto diet a while ago, and it did work towards the end, but I plan to go back to it now because, you know, I've learned more about it since. I really did enjoy it. I've got a blood ketone meter, so I plan to do blood ketone tests regularly, lower my calorie intake. I'll try ketone-based or keto-based supplements, and you know, actually document their results on my blood ketone levels. And I guess because I won't be able to do any sort of weight training, I am still able to do some low intensity cardio. So I thought, you know, while I might try that, I might try actually doing, I guess, a keto diet in an attempt to lean up a little bit and reduce some body fat. So it'd be interesting to see how I feel with those lower calories, not training, hopefully the mental clarity benefits, you know, all those sorts of things of keto. So that'll be something interesting to document and also to experience as well. And I guess also, you know, just to focus on my recovery. That's, you know, I don't want to do, the last thing I want to do is do something stupid that's going to stuff it up. I don't want to try and sneak in a leg session, or I don't want to have to try and, you know, I don't know, just I don't want to do something stupid that's going to hinder my recovery, or you know, do something that's going to just, you know, I'm going to regret later. And so I'm just going to spend a lot of time focusing on my recovery. And I guess that's really it, guys. You know, that's really all of it. To anyone that's still here watching, thank you so much. Like I really appreciate you hanging around, you listening to what I'm saying. Like I said at the beginning, I'm just a normal guy. You know, there are other people out there that are experiencing the exact same thing I have, or have experienced. They've gone through the same thing and had surgery, regardless of the reason of why they have gynecomastia. You know, it's nothing new in the industry or in the world. If anyone has any questions about anything I've said in this video or about anything at all, feel free to comment below or hit me up personally on my Instagram. I'm happy to answer any sort of questions you guys have. And if anyone's actually gone through this themselves, you know, please, by all means, hit me up. I'd love to hear your experiences. You know, I'd love to hear how the recovery went. You know, regardless, like I said, regardless of how it was brought on, how it caused the gynecomastia, you know, we still have to go through the same sort of treatment of it. So it's regardless of how it caused it, whether it was through steroid use or whether it was just naturally occurring through puberty, such as myself. And of course, if you guys have any suggestions on topics of things and content that you guys want me to work on in the next 6 weeks or just in the future, comment below. And of course, guys, you know, hit the subscribe button. I'm going to be doing, like I said, I'm going to document the rest of this journey. You know, showing the surgery, showing what I can of the surgery, showing the recovery, talking about a lot more. I might even do just a pure video about what it is. And yeah, so there should be more content. So hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and I will see you guys real soon.